Amazon Live. What is it? How does it work? We've covered that in a short tutorial video, but today I have a panel of guests who have been using Amazon Live to really increase their business in a variety of ways. They've been using it and they are going to talk through the strategy. How do you make more money through Amazon Live? How do you get seen on Amazon Live? Is it worth using Amazon Live? Welcome, guys.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
I'm so thrilled to have this panel. We've been talking, Chris actually started this conversation with us, like, he's one of our community members, and he was like, I've been using it, it's awesome, and we've been talking about doing this stream for months. So yeah. We finally got it out. I'm gonna let each of you introduce yourself and kind of like talk through what you're doing and how you're, like, what is your Amazon Live strategy as an overarching strategy. So Chris, I'll let you go first.
Hey, so Honor, what's going on, everybody? I'm Chris, P Giles. My show is Tech Talk with Chris .live on Amazon Live. Honestly, I love it. We've been on there since October, been able to start a group and help other creators get on and talk more about it. Everything I do is just like Soldier Knows Best, man. We're talking tech, I'm talking live streaming, gaming, having kind of all of that fun stuff. And then on the show, honestly, my strategy is always brand deals. That's where I see the biggest money, and that's what I love to talk about. So super excited to be on here today with such a great panel.
Yeah, brand deals. So we'll definitely talk more about that as well. Now, Soldier Knows Best, Mark. Well, I'm so thrilled to connect with you again after so many years of, not collaborating together. But go ahead and tell us what your YouTube videos are about, but also how you're using Amazon Live.
Yeah, well, I'm just generally, I like to kind of break down tech in an easy way for everyone to understand, really laid back style, but really been focusing on my production quality lately of just really trying to cover all types of consumer tech, whether it's a refrigerator, a smartphone, a drone, whatever it is. I like to talk about it. And so how I'm transitioning that over to Amazon Live is I do want to bring a little bit more of my YouTube video feel to Amazon Live. So I wanted to have that same feel as far as like the production quality for my live streaming, and really just kind of bring over that laid back style of just me kind of chilling with the product and interacting with the chat and just talking about it and just really trying to give people the best idea of what a product is and whether or not they should buy it.
But Jeff, as a last minute addition, I was on his show this morning and we started talking about Amazon Live. I was like, you have to join us for the panel. Now, Jeff has a very different strategy right. for Amazon Live, so I thought it would be valuable to share that.
Yeah. So Lori just didn't change the link, and I clicked on it, and I came in. She left the door open, and I just walked right in. The main thing is for me is like I started a new show and channel, and I was trying to get more viewers. And luckily, I already had everything set up already for Amazon Live, and when it came available, I was able to go to it. So I just pretty much used it as another destination. And the cool thing is how many videos I've gotten, and I make sales every time I go live. I've hit I got to I think it's the middle tier of the, they have the kind of gamified, and I hit that every month without any problem, and it's just another destination. And so now I'm kind of like listening to these guys going, okay, what are my next steps to take it to the next level and really make a show specifically for Amazon Live? Right now, I'm just porting my the shows I do, like for Social Media News Live and some others, over there to increase the audience.
And you're literally talking about social media news, if you didn't take that away from the title of his stream, like not products. And so I find that very interesting that you're still making a couple $100 every time you go.
Well, I have all my podcasting stuff. I have this, and if you mention anything, I've had people ask me on the live, where do I get these signs behind me? I mean,
yeah,
I had guests on there who talk about, they mentioned they were vacuuming their house and they had this new vacuum. What vacuum? And people will ask, like, yes. I mean, they are hungry to buy over there, and I think that's what's really exciting for live streamers.
Yeah, if you visit our Amazon live streaming page, which we're just getting kind of like started and going, I'll talk about my strategy with that, and we have an upcoming kind of first monthly stream on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific. But last time I was on there, somebody was just asking me about my dog bed because I have it in every video that I do, right? And so then I was like adding it to my list and all of that. And then we started talking about red silverware and like all of these things. But you're so right. Like everything that you have in your background is like people always ask those questions. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you get that a bunch, Chris and Mark as well.
Yeah, it's a natural thing as a techie. Everybody wants to know what you're using. There's websites where you can put up the list of the gear that you use. And I think the best thing about Amazon is that people are there to buy stuff, right? Mm-hmm. If they're just coming to the page to buy stuff. So it doesn't feel as maybe forced as it might feel like in a YouTube video or something. And hey, go check the links down below for my Amazon, affiliate links. Where they're already on the page. They want to be sold to, but they also just want to know your opinion, and that's what makes it unique.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you guys look at this, outside of Jeff, as a community builder? Do you look at it as, like, are you trying to build a community on Amazon like you do on YouTube, or do you care? Chris?
I honestly, at first we wanted to care because like they want you to get the followers, and that's kind of how you move up in the game, right? I think it said like 2,000 followers to move to the top level. But the biggest thing we notice is like the same person isn't shopping every day. They may come and say what's up, but they're not actually shopping every day. And so honestly, I went the route of like Soja Knows Best said, like, we're just talking about the gear, and I'm here to answer your questions. Like, you're looking at the camera. What camera are you using? Boom. Now I can answer questions specifically about the camera I'm using right now. And you don't have to go anywhere. Buy it now because I'm answering it for you,
Yeah. You want to add anything to that?
I would say, I am noticing a few people come back in the chat on the Amazon stream. So that's good to see. And I think you always want to build the following, but that's going to slowly build over time. And so that's something that you really can't control. You can say, hey, hit the follow button. But really, I think, like you said, just trying to focus on your content and kind of, getting that format down of how to, show the products that you want to show, how to talk about it. And what are the best practices are kind of what we're trying to focus on in the beginning here.
So I want to ask this to Chris, because somebody, and I think some people who are just getting, thinking about Amazon Live might find this interesting. Not only does it show up on your live show, but it also shows up at different places on Amazon. So I had Kim Garst, who is a social media person, sent me a screenshot, and she goes, "Look what I saw. I was looking at cameras, and your show came up right at the bottom of the page." Can you talk about how that works? And like, not only is there a live streaming show where people can buy from your stream, but it also shows up on like product pages.
Yeah. One of the things you were mentioning earlier, the gamification of it, right? The different levels. So you have the bottom level. And so the biggest thing is streaming, because it's like 90 minutes or something to get out of the bottom level. The goal is, once you at least get to the insider, which is like the second level, is that you actually do have the ability to show up on product pages based on what you put in your carousel. And so if I'm on there and I'm talking about Stream Deck and the Elgato stand and things like that, and there's kind of a game of it depending on when you come on and all that, but I have the opportunity to show up on the Stream Deck page, which is the amazing part of that, because that's really where you're getting the viewers from on there, especially on like a Black Friday or Prime Day. Like, you want to be on those pages because people that'll never find you will find you on those pages.
Does it stay after the fact, or is it just while live?
So in our experience, the lives are only while live. And then the other thing you kind of contend with are other people that are in your niche. So, if Jeff comes on right after me and he has the Stream Deck in there, it's the ability for him to bump me out. We still, and then there's kind of this whole algorithm thing like that. We still haven't figured out. We've tested it. I've gone live at the same time on purpose with other people to see. And it seems to be like a timing. Who comes in next kind of bumps the first person out.
Interesting. So it's not about the length of time you're going live. So that's interesting, because I was thinking it would be it would be useful to be live longer if you're going to show up on different pages. So last person to go live.
Yeah. And then A-list obviously bumps everybody out. So if you're A-list, which is the top level, they kind of automatically always get the page no matter what.
And there can only be one?
Yeah, the live is only one at a time.
I got a pop culture reference!
There can be only one.
Okay, so let's talk about more ways to get seen, right? So if you basically, or when you're live, you're showing, you have the potential to show up on those product pages. How does it work? Because if you're talking about Stream Deck and a camera and a microphone, you have all of those in your shelf. What about like when does it know to put you on the Stream Deck one versus the microphone one, or is it like on all of them at the same time?
So it can be on multiple at the same time, and and that's why I was like, it's this weird thing where they don't tell you. You're just kind of, it's just us. Like I'm literally live, and I have the page pulled up, and I'm just looking.
Got it.
And because I've had times where I'm talking about a gaming PC, and I show up on other gaming PCs just because there's no one talking about them at the same time. And I think one of the triggers is when you highlight it in the carousel to make it your main item. I think that's been one of the triggers that we noticed.
Nice. What about you, Mark? Are you finding anything like algorithmically? Have you really tested that part of it?
No, I didn't even know that we showed up on the product pages. So I'm learning from Chris. So we do control the carousel. So each streamer, as you're talking about a product in the app that you're using, you just highlight that product and it shows up. So but that makes sense of how the system knows, okay, what you're talking about right now, put you on that page, and then try to get you exposed.
Okay. And then there are also videos outside of live. Who wants to talk about how those work? And because that's one of the ways that you can get seen and start to build that following.
Yeah,
Chris?
for sure. I jump in if
Okay.
And so one of those is just they're asking you to do basically short demo type video. I mean, essentially, what Mark's doing on YouTube, right?
Exactly.
It's literally take that video, put it on Amazon, just take YouTube off. And so, and those stay all the time. And so what they're noticing, again, even in that, whoever the last video to be clicked is the one that gets the commission for it, right? And so the goal is to, just like YouTube and the thumbnails, right, is to be the one that stands out and people go, oh, I'll watch those. Like for me, my tactic is I try to be the shortest video because I have a short attention span. So my hope is that if somebody's like, I just need to know real quick, I don't want the 10-minute description, I want the 1 minute 30 second. So I'll just kind of do those to get money, and that's the money while you sleep, right? You don't have to be live for those.
Yeah. How are you using those?
Yeah, that's the whole process. So I was talking with Amazon about that. So I'm doing the same thing. So I'm taking a bunch of content that I've already made for YouTube, and I'm kind of cutting out pieces and things like that were just kind of me just rambling on. As you said, you're trying to get their attention span, but also making sure I'm taking out any sponsorships or music and stuff like that. So I'm converting a lot of my videos that I've already made, which it's not that hard. It's just a little bit of time, and bringing that over to Amazon. And it's kind of like having your own YouTube page, but again, it is product focused, and you have just more opportunities to get those commissions.
Okay. And Bradley is mentioning that's why you have to move your carousel. Don't leave it sitting in a product that you're not actually talking about. So that's a good
that's an easy thing to forget. They need to work on the software because you got to control it with your phone. Like it's so weird. So that's the only thing. But don't forget to move your product.
So as you're talking about it, you're moving the carousel, you're highlighting that particular product. So do any of you have like a producer that's part of that, or you just doing it all yourself? Silly question.
I wish. Yes. I wish.
Obviously, I need one. But no, I did a few. My first like maybe 7 or 8 Amazon streams were directly kind of partnered with Amazon for the TriTech Live series that they have. Yeah. And that they had the whole, we had producers and they were controlling the angles, and I had a couple other hosts that joined me. But for now, for like the last 2 months, I've just been doing it all on my own, using OBS, controlling everything, and trying to go with the flow. Okay.
So you mentioned, Chris, that the last person who gets the click on the product page, if there are multiple product videos, if somebody is going to buy it, it's the last video that gets that click. Mm-hmm. Does that override an external social link that somebody might have promoted, somebody else? Like, so if somebody comes in and clicks a link from social to go to that product page, then watches your video, that's overriding it, I'm assuming?
So yeah, from what we've seen, that's what it's been. Because one of my buddies in the chat, Monty, like he'll go live, and then we started realizing that he would go live and then tell people to come to my live stream because I was an hour after him, And he was like, man, why are my sales not good? And he was like, I shouted you out. Everybody had the stuff sitting in the cart and then went and clicked on something in my cart. And I got the commission. So your goal is to get them to buy right now. Like, here, hey, go buy it, and then you can go watch somebody else later.
Got it. Okay. And is it hold the 24-hour?
Yeah, still, whoever's the last one is will still get the 24-hour hold.
24-hour.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, cut my check. Poor Monty. Oops, that placement wasn't good. That's hilarious. So off the Jax is saying I do a whole show from just my phone and it can be hard to see and manage it, I think is what he's saying. Oh, yeah, that would be difficult to do the live from the phone. You would have to almost have two phones, one to manage, one to be live from. I wouldn't recommend that.
So what I have to do, because my phone, because you have to, it's like Periscope. We talked about this a little bit. Like you have to, if you're doing it from a desktop, then you have to start it from your phone, like Periscope used to have to do. All the comments are on there. You can't bring comments on screen. And my phone I actually use for my show as, like, when I read the intro, as a teleprompter. So I'm like, I did it one time. I'm like, oh crap, I can't start Amazon Live. So I have it on my iPad now, and so I have it. You just have to kind of think that through, because you are tied to your phone so much. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to say is, we talked about, like, I'm like just dipping my toe in this, but since I have guests on the screen, a lot of times they have books, and being able to bring up their books, one, it makes me look really good to my guests that I'm selling their books on Amazon. They like that. But the other thing, and this is from Chris Stone and Jim Fuse from Dealcasters, since mine is a podcast as well, because I have a destination as a podcast for Amazon Music, I could put that in the carousel. So I'm getting more signups to my podcast and subscriptions, because I can highlight my podcast in the carousel and people can click on that and subscribe.
Wait, you can highlight external? Is that what you're saying? Did I miss a beat?
No, because they click on it and they go through Amazon Music and they subscribe to my podcast in there.
Got it. Okay. That's really good.
Yeah, it's really nice.
That's a very smart strategy right there. I wonder what else you can use, like how else you can force,
one of the ways is getting your merch, putting your merch on Amazon.
Yeah, merch is,
and
you get a higher percentage rate for your own merch.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so putting your own merch on there. Isn't it pretty complicated to become a product, like a product on Amazon?
So not the merch. The merch is like even a separate program. It's literally merch by Amazon. As easy as you do Teespring or any of these, it's that you're uploading designs and they're printing on demand for you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's pretty awesome. Okay. So that leads us into a question by Gretchen. If I have products on Amazon, journals, photos, books, is Amazon Live something I can use to sell those? The answer is yes, but I was wondering, my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that if you're going to sign up for the influencer program, they probably wouldn't want you to sell your own stuff, and maybe you have to be a business sign up on that. Does anybody know for sure?
Yeah, it's a lot of gray area, right? Because if you're a seller on Amazon, like merch is slightly different because it's not a seller, right? But as an Amazon seller, when you open that account, you're listed as a seller, so you don't get the commission like an influencer gets. You're just promoting your own product. And so there's some brands now that are starting their account, and then they want influencers to stream through their account.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know, I've been trying to tell people that it's better to be an influencer, because me personally, if I have the Sony camera and you sell camera accessories, you now, because I'm streaming it, you have the ability to show up. My stream shows up on the Sony page, so your accessories can be sold there. If you're a seller and you only have your one product line, you'll only show up on your product pages.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
I think so, yeah. There is, and this is why we're having this panel discussion, because there's a lot of gray area, there's a lot of rules, there's a lot of unknowns, because it's still, even though Sammy pointed out it actually launched in 2016, he said, that it's still new. Like, it's really not that developed. So we still have a lot to figure out. So we'll talk about money here shortly, but Mark, let's talk about time spent. So strategically speaking, how much time do you have to spend? We know Jeff just does his weekly show there, and he's making a couple $100, right? So per stream. And then how much time do you spend, Mark, and is it worth it?
At least an hour per show. But I sometimes I get rolling, and I did a show last weekend. I went for like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And so for me, I kind of like, I have my set products, and then because people are constantly joining and coming in and out, I usually do a recap. And the last couple of shows, I go back and I recap all of the products. I don't spend as much time on them, but the viewership stayed pretty much the same. So that's showing that these new people are joining in, and they probably missed those products that you talked about earlier. So I'll go back and do it, and that just keeps me on the platform. I'm not talking about anything new, so I'm just kind of rehashing everything. So for me, my goal is to do at least 2 streams per week.
Okay.
It probably bumping that up to 3, especially as we get closer to the holiday season. And I think, for right now, I think it is worth it because it still is in those early stages, even though it's been out for a while. But as far as them really pushing it and really trying to grow out the platform, I think the upside is there. And I think especially when we get into this holiday season, Black Fridays, and as I'm reaching out to companies to sponsor streams and stuff, I think there's a lot of opportunity there to make some money and get some more exposure.
Awesome. And so you mentioned the holidays. We'll tackle that here in a second as well. For all of you asking, how do we get started? Like, I did a video earlier this week on the basics so that you understand what it is, the requirements, and how you kind of operate Amazon Live. So go watch that video. That'll give you all of those basics. I wanted this to be more of a deep dive. So, okay, so you're doing one weekly show, basically an hour or more if you... Can you just read the recaps that you're doing those at the end, or you're doing those just in between during the show, like every 30 minutes or so?
At the end. So yeah, I just go through all the products in my carousel, and I'm just talking, going over the products. And then at the end, I kind of like, and I just kind of reverse it. I go all the way back to the beginning. I just kind of redo it, just because I know people are just coming in and they haven't been there the entire time. Yeah. And so unless I'm in a rush to kind of get off the stream, I don't mind doing that because I'm on the page for longer. Yeah. And I see that the viewership remains mostly steady. Okay.
And then Chris, how much time are you spending?
So honestly, I started out doing 5 streams a week. I was literally streaming every day. Wow. And then I was doing I was trying to do a minimum of an hour, but like Mark said, like once you jump into that, right? Yeah. Sometimes people are actually asking questions, so you're like, I'm not going to leave if you're asking, because that means you're trying to buy something, right? And then it's kind of slowed down because other businesses picked up because I've been live streaming. So people are like, oh, how do you get these brand deals? How do you do this? And I'm like, I can't go live with
5 days a week. Yeah.
So
it's basically
at least an hour though.
At least an hour a week. And you were telling me, Chris, privately, that somebody else who's really like this is their full-time thing. Can you walk us through what they're doing, maybe as a point of reference?
Yeah, we were looking at some of their hours. I'm talking they're streaming like 4 to 6 hours a day. 6 days a week, and but they're monthly. If you're talking monthly income, they were over 5 figures a month. But like that's a lot of hours. That's a lot of hours to be live, right? Like
yeah, and I guess the question that you have to answer, right, is that's full on home shopping network QVC style, which is totally fine, right? And I do believe that will be a massive market of people just becoming streamers, not to connect with a community, but to be QVC. And I think we'll see that a lot. Yeah, Mark?
Yeah, Chris, what category are they in? What type of products are they selling?
Honestly, they're all over the place, man.
They do everything, like clothes and tech and everything?
So not clothes, but tech, exercise equipment, like... Okay. I've tuned in and seen video games, like they're literally like...
Yeah, because I'm curious about that, because I do tech, but it's one of those things where I think I can easily branch out into outdoors equipment and stuff, and I think because of the platform, it's not going to be like if I did it on my YouTube channel, I'm talking about sunscreen lotion or something. It'd be kind of weird. But on Amazon Live, I think you have a little bit more room to play with outside of what you typically do everywhere else. So yeah, I've been kind of curious about that.
Yeah, that's the big question: is do you have to niche down on Amazon Live, or can you be everything to everybody?
Yeah. I want to start selling makeup because it's the percentage for those makeup places, and they're always doing specials. Holy cow! Yeah. I want to start like
You getting
James
all
Charles
the beauty,
ended up.
all the beauty things.
Well, then I might too.
It's crazy. Yeah.
What were you gonna say,
But
Chris?
I mean, no, I was just gonna say because some of it is in the niching down is just, and we've been toying with it because people are just kind of all over the place, right? But like niching the episode. So this episode is about live streaming gear. And that way, when it's not weird when you show up on. You're talking about a Stream Deck, but you show up on Sony's page. It's not weird, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, why do you have beef jerky in your in your carousel, right? But then you go, I'm talking about camping this episode, so everything in your carousel is camping related. So when you show up on the other pages, and somebody's looking for a tent, and they see you talking about the pots and pans that you cook with, it makes sense, and then they're like, well, that's weird. Let me go somewhere else, right? And that kind of hopefully keeps them engaged in buying. So that's what
Yeah.
we've been kind of toying with in the conversations we've had inside the group.
What do you guys think? Like, I think that you can. Yeah, that's why where I was kind of my mindset was like, I think you can talk about everything because, like I said, like the dog bed, but those things will come up, and then you're accidentally talking about dog beds
Right.
and red silverware on a stream about tech because people are just asking questions because people are human. Any strategies to because I just added it to my I don't have it fully set up yet, but I just added it to my live streaming gear list, and it's sitting there, and that's weird. But like, would you remove that after the fact or something? I guess I don't know.
Like if you're live in the show and add it, I wouldn't remove it at that point, right?
Okay.
But I'm just saying when you go into it for the beginning,
Yeah.
try to keep everything the same. And
Got it.
like you said though, I'll leave 10 spots because you get 40 spots. I'll sometimes leave 5 or 10 spots at the end for those reasons. So if somebody goes, like you said, what's that sign behind you?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, let me add that real quick. And if you already have it, like your storefront you were talking about, if you already have it in the list, it's easy to add
Yeah.
live because you don't have to go find it. And so, yeah, leave a couple spots for that stuff. And,
Okay.
Yeah.
Bradley said niche. Swap meet looking carousels are not appreciated by Amazon. What does he mean by that? Bradley, are you streaming on? It sounds like you're streaming on Amazon. You
Oh,
should have
yeah.
been on this panel.
Yeah, Bradley's
why am I here?
crushing the game. It's the don't have a PC while you're also trying to sell a camping lantern, and then
Yeah.
the
Okay.
sign
So
behind you
he's
and the-
clarifying that too. Okay. Just niche the broadcast. So that's really the answer here. Is you can do any category. So
Yeah.
Mark, you don't have to be focused solely on tech. Jeff, social. I'm just joking.
Well, I
I'm
have all
just
my
teasing you.
podcast gear. No, I have all my in my mic.
Yes.
People see. I get a lot of sales on the mic. It's just because I'm using
Yeah.
it to talk. But you understand how many people don't understand how many eyeballs are on Amazon. So Lori, when you were talking, I looked from our show we did about an hour ago. We've already had 1,000 views
On
that
Amazon?
video. Yeah, on just Amazon, from Amazon stats, from just amount of time, and there'll be more when I check later. You have 24 hours before you get the sales stats, so I couldn't see that. But there's so many eyeballs on this. People do not understand, and there's not that many live streamers that
Yeah.
are on the platform.
There aren't.
It looks like it when you're on the page, but not really. So I mean,
Yeah.
I just probably screwed Chris and everybody
I
else.
know,
from
right?
getting
Like
on
we're
the
doing
hang of
this,
it.
and I'm like, wait,
It's a
no, we
secret,
shouldn't be
yeah.
talking about this. Let's
We should
let's
do it for
hoard.
ourselves. Yeah.
Everybody's going to do it. The thing is everybody's not going to do it because it's actually not that easy. And one of the things that I've been looking at is our strategy on Amazon because I don't have time for another weekly live stream. I'm already maxed out, and my entire team is too. So we've been thinking about okay, so this is a powerful platform for Black Friday, right? Specials and holiday stuff, Amazon Prime Day. I want to build up that community and the reputation on Amazon. And so we're looking at doing a monthly live stream event where we kind of really just promote to it. And our first event, okay, so we're going niche here, but outside of tech. The first event is I'm pointing at Abby, but she's actually behind me. So Abby's 12th birthday is next Wednesday, and we're gonna do our Abby birthday party on Amazon. And so I'm still strategically thinking because I was waiting to have this conversation with you guys. But what do you think of something like that?
I mean, I
That's
think it'd
dope.
be good. Fill it up with all
Yeah.
the, especially the pet all the
Yeah.
all the birthday stuff, all the pet products.
Yeah.
Like, because
Be popular.
because like you said over there, you're not. I mean, you're going to invite everybody from your networks, right?
Right.
And they'll come because they like you.
Yeah.
The rest of it is like we're selling to people that are already on Amazon trying to buy pet products. So be
Yeah.
in front of them and get the sales.
And I think that, my thought process is like, even if I do show up on those product pages, then, people love pets. So if they see something like that and it says birthday celebration, or I think that's pretty enticing to show up on there and get new interest as well. So I don't know. Yeah. So I think that there are not a lot of pet related streams, so it should work really well. Thank you, Monty. Highly engaging. Yeah, so it should be a ton of fun. If you guys want to join us, 10 a.m. Pacific on Wednesday on our Amazon page, you can find that link in the comments. And all of these guys' link as well. I would highly encourage you, if you're interested in this topic, to follow each and every one of them so you can see what they're doing. Now let's talk about money. Money, money, money. Wait, hold on. I got something for that.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Uh-oh,
No
it's
more
about to ring.
dancing, right? Oh, there we go.
Grab it, Mark, grab it. So let's talk about money. Do you guys mind? I mean, Jeff has kind of mentioned. Jeff, do you want to dive into numbers? Do you guys mind talking about numbers? I'd love to give people a real view of what you're bringing in. You can go generic or specific, up to you. So Jeff, I'm gonna let you start.
Yeah, I've been taking my show there, and also the show that I do for Tailwind over there as well. Pretty much any live show, it's up for grabs that I'll put over there. But I have my podcasting stuff, everything that I use when I go live listed, and I'll talk about them once in a while. But then also any authors that I have, I mentioned that before, who are on the show as a guest, I'll put that as well. It's a couple $100 that I make each time I go.
Okay. And Mark?
Yeah, I don't get into financials, but what I will say, because it's been a little different for me, because I did do something directly with Amazon in the beginning, where I was hosting the TriTech Live, so that was something like totally separate.
Different.
And that was a whole, different pile of monetization and a different contract and stuff for that. But yeah, like I do know a couple of streamers on there, and yeah, it can range for a couple hundred, a few hundred per stream, depending on how long and what products that you're talking about. You can kind of blow it up a little bit. So for me right now, it's something to where I don't want to be too, like, I'm actually leaning more towards going for those sponsorships, those sponsored streams. So I'm talking with a few companies right now that just want me to do a stream where I'm just showing all of their products, or they just want to do like an integrated where I may cover a couple of their products, and then I have like a little banner on the stream. So that is where I'm going to treat that more like I would a sponsored video on YouTube. And that's where you can get a decent amount of money guaranteed. And basically, like how I treat YouTube, like AdSense, to me, that's extra. The sponsorships are where I'm really trying to go for. And I'm bringing that same philosophy over to Amazon.
Yeah.
So I want to get as many of those affiliate sales, but that's just a bonus. I want to get to a point where I can get those relationships with those companies where I know I get a certain amount every stream. And I think they really do like that exposure on Amazon, because it's right there for the consumers to buy their products.
Okay. And Chris, you're doing something similar.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly where I would go with it. Is when I first started and you're streaming all the time, like the money's decent. Like I was probably doing a couple thousand a month, which again is good side income if you're already doing other creator stuff, right? And then the other thing is funneling. For me, I was not in a sales pitchy way, but by accident was funneling them into my production business, because people are going, oh, you're talking about production gear, so let me do the service for you instead of buying the gear. But really the money is, like Mark said, the money's in the sponsor deals, because so many people are like, hold on, I sell on Amazon and I can get directly in front of the customers right there. Yeah. And so it's something new, and especially for, I mean, I'm a little jealous of Mark, right? Because I'm like, he already has the YouTube channel as well, and so he can kind of double dip on him, right? Because he's like, look, I got this Amazon Live, and there's not that many people over there, and you know what? I'll kick you a little YouTube video on the side, but now the dollars go, So for me, I'm going to follow his lead. Need to work on my YouTube too, man.
Do you do, so those brand deals, Are you integrating YouTube and Amazon in the same brand deal, or is it really separate?
I haven't yet. So the current deals I'm working on now is just for Amazon Live. But that is something that's interesting though. That is something that I think that it will be definitely worth it to explore, because the thing is, if I'm already doing an Amazon Live, you might as well get paid more to do it. And if you already have the product from the company, it's not that hard to integrate it in. So I'm thinking really gearing up for the holiday season and Black Friday. I think there's going to be a ton of opportunity, because you can get brand deals on Instagram and Twitter, but that post goes away, and then you gotta tell, hey, go click this link in my profile. But I think Amazon Live is just so right there, and especially with the deals and promos they might have going on, that I'm trying to I'm starting to ramp up to get my plans out for that.
So I think let's talk about the ethics, because that's a question that has come up a lot from the community. Like, they see it different, a brand deal sponsorship on YouTube, like we do those, everybody does those, right? Versus taking money to promote the products on Amazon. What are y'all's general thoughts about the ethics of that?
I mean, for me, I explain to the company, I don't open the package until I go live.
Okay.
So it's got to be good product. And I obviously had an issue with one company because I went live and I couldn't get the camera to connect to my phone. And they were like, well, that's embarrassing. I'm like, well, you should make it work. I told you before we did the deal that I'm doing it live, so it has to work. And so, luckily I figured out what the problem was. And when I did a 3-stream deal with them. And so the second stream, I was like, hey, this is what the problem was, but I'm real. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'm not pitching it like I'm trying to sell it to you. I'm the honest. I won't down the product and say it's horrible.
Well, you can't even do that according to Amazon rules anyway. You literally can't bash product. So that's fair.
I'm very, so I think for me, I take it to where it's very rare I get a product that just totally sucks. It's more so the product might not work for you. Yeah. So I get in the chat room, people would ask me, should I get the AirPods Pros or the Beat Studio Buds? And I do go over the negatives and the positives of each product, and then I sum it up to, okay, I think this is great for this type of person who's looking to do this. And I think everywhere, including Amazon Live, the customers, the viewers, they like that, because again, you don't want to seem like you're just only talking about 100% of the positives, and if something might not be good for this person, it just seems a little bit more real and genuine to really give your honest feedback. You don't have to bash it, but just point out why something may be good for someone else.
And Jeff, what are the best things that you've discovered, when it comes to brand deals and the ethics of that on any platform?
Yeah, so brand deals, I would do what Chris has done, like open it on there and say, okay, you kind of get the luck of the draw. If I was doing unboxing things where somebody had sent me something and I didn't know about it, most of the time all my brand deals that I've done are something that I really believe in and like already, and I have a relationship with those companies, so it's really easy to do. And so for me, I tend to lump things together, so for example, Guy Kawasaki, he has a live show that I produce, and I produce his podcast. He has a sponsor for his podcast, and he also has a sponsor for his live show. So he's got two big, huge sources of income coming in for doing one thing. I don't do that because I'm not Guy Kawasaki. I have, I say, hey, if you do this, you get to be mentioned here, here, and here, and I'll do it this way. It's just easy for me right now. I would like to get to the place where I can say, oh, well, for that it's going to be this, and for that it will be this. But right now, I'm very happy with the brand deals that I have, because I believe in those. Like if Elgato said, hey, we want you to do something on the key lights on Amazon Live, I'd do that. Yeah, sure. Send me some more, and I'll do it. Because I love their products. I love the Stream Deck. And so that's the kind of brand deals I look for. I'm just like these guys. I'm not going to do something for the quick, buck, because that will come around. I've seen so many people get bit by that. I just won't do it.
Yeah. My brain is going on fire right now. In terms of being seen, so I wanted to ask this question, and then Chris, you made me think, wow, maybe Amazon Live is not the platform for collaborations, because I was thinking that's always a way that you can increase your audience and build, right? But now after your story with Monty, I'm thinking, is there a way to collaborate?
So I mean, yeah. So one of the shows I do, if you guys know Jeff from Geekazine, we do
Yeah.
a Tuesday show together. And
Okay.
but what we do is we stream. So he runs it for us, and we stream to both of our channels separately, and our carousels are different. They're similar in because we know what we're going to talk about, so we'll pick similar items, but we won't pick the same exact items because in our first test, I hit stream live after him, and so I bumped him off all the pages. So he was having like 5 viewers, and I was having like 50.
You're taking up
And we're
all
like, oh, we can't do that
everybody's.
again.
And Chris is just like, take it.
Yeah. So if you get
So
creative,
Gloria,
you
something
can
you
definitely
could
still
do,
do
and
it.
I did this with Dealcasters because they were on my show, and I was also on their show.
Yeah.
So that's how I go on their show. It's their stream. They go on my show. It's my stream. And Dealcasters actually had something when I said to go on their show that they even say in their like little speakers agreement that, you know, this Amazon Live is going to be for us. You know, you're not going to get a cut of it, all that stuff. That's cool because they were on mine. And so I think that would be the way maybe to collaborate, you know, with, you know, different channels.
Just share, but yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, kind of like we do on YouTube.
Yeah.
If somebody will ask me to come on their podcast, I'm not expecting them to give me a cut of the check. You're just doing it because you like them. Like I like all of you. So anytime you want me to join your show, I will join. And you know, and I think that's the best organic way to do it. Now again, you can work out a deal, you know, like Chris or something, and I think that's a very smart way to do it. But yeah, I think that there's opportunities to collab. Like, you know, Renee Ritchie, I might want to bring him on for one that we talk about Apple products. You know,
Yeah.
I think he's in the chat room still.
He is. Yeah, he's usually here.
I'm forcing him there. I'm throwing it out there, but I think that would be a cool way. You can still promote, you know, everyone's social, their pages and stuff. There's still opportunities for both parties, but yeah, just be friends.
Yeah,
and want to do it. I think that's a good way.
That's a really good point. You two should definitely collaborate. That would be awesome. And let me know when that happens so I can join. Watch. I didn't mean like I'm coming on the show.
Oh, now you
Just
want a
wanna
piece
make
of it. See?
Nah.
Trying to take over my stream.
Just inviting myself. Really quick, so we have a few questions. I think we've answered a lot of the questions that were submitted, but Daniel wants to know, do you ever talk about the same things when you live stream to Amazon, essentially like different broadcasts? Are you kind of replicating and duplicating those same topics?
Oh yeah, for me, absolutely. Like one of the deals I have is a microphone company, and so I have the majority of their microphones. So I'm literally doing another stream about the same microphones. And the idea, honestly, is most of the people that are coming in are new. There's a handful of people that'll come in and they'll still ask questions about other stuff because I still leave it open where I'm like, I still answer questions about whatever tech related, but I'm just showing you mics this time. And so yeah, all the time.
Okay. I assume you do too, Mark.
Yeah, for sure. Because I think I like to have the products there and to have used them for the stream. And I think that's two different approaches. Some people can go on Amazon Live and they might just go to the deals page that's on Amazon and just talk about what they see or what they recommend. So I do that a little bit. Sometimes I say that for the end of my stream, but the meat of my streams, I want to actually have the products. And because of what I do on YouTube and stuff, I have access to a lot of products. So that helps me out there. And so I think that's just better for the user to see you actually using it and stuff. And so, but because of that, yeah, I do have some products that I use multiple times, but I try to try to make the percentage of the products that I reuse be, you know, a little bit smaller than the ones I've already had that are going to be brand new.
Okay. So essentially, I mean, the people who don't have a product, the ability to get, you know, all the products to talk about, obviously, you know, I think everybody is saying here that, you know, like Monty is saying, having the products is definitely appreciated by the audience, and it's definitely going to be more effective to building that reputation and the know, like, and trust factor. But is that, I mean, you could still get by with sharing your screen and talking about the pros and cons that you see without having actually tried it. It's still going to be effective, right?
As long as you're knowledgeable.
Yeah, no, totally. Caveat.
Yeah, because some of the products when I do that, like I'm like, I come across Anchor products or something, I'm like, look, I use a lot of their products already. And then when I'm doing that, I'm going to like, hey, look at the reviews. I'm looking at the reviews just like I am a regular consumer. They have a lot of positive reviews, and you go down, I showed them that on the stream via my screen capture. And then, yeah, if I'm familiar with the brand, I do that. Or if I'm just going off of the reviews, I kind of go over there. So yeah, you just don't want to kind of be, I mean, I guess you could just go around and say, hey, buy this, buy that. But yeah, the users want to know why. And I think that if you know a little bit about the brand or the company, then that can help you.
Okay. Melody says people come on and constantly say, like, I didn't know about Amazon Live because they're finding her on the product pages. By the way, anybody watching right now, if you have an Amazon Live page, I would love for you to tweet it to me, message support. I would love to start getting to know the people in this community who are also on Amazon Live. So send us those links. You can't post them in the comments because that doesn't work, but find me, send it to me. Just buy the dang product and do the stream. It will end up being free.
It's true.
That's a very
I mean,
good
think
point.
about like somebody like Doc though. Doc jumps on there. He's already got a. I mean, well, first of all, let's do what Jeff was doing earlier, right? How much product did he have in arm reach that he
I
could
know.
just do a random stream? Right? Like, do what's
Yeah,
in
I
your
should've
house
sold toilet
already.
paper.
Like my first stream was the gear that I already had.
Yeah.
Like,
My ottoman is, that's where I keep all my gear because I'm in like a small loft, and so like I just keep all my gear in there so I could just unpack that and just have a stream, right? We all
Show
have
it
a
to the
box
world.
or have it lying around.
And most of the time, my carousel, other than adding stuff for our guests or some new tech I got or something I forgot that I had that I wanted somebody to ask about, usually stays the same. Now, I'll bump things in different orders as I think about I'm talking about them, or I want to have the books up there for people to do it. So I think that's important too. The other thing is all these guys here know how to improv, because there's a lot of improvisation that goes on to this stuff, because you'll be talking about your thing and somebody will go, hey, like I say, like, yeah, I'm using the Canon M50 to do all my live streams, been using it for a while, and somebody will go, well, what about the Sony blah, 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 blah. And you'll like, and you can like really quickly add that to your carousel and go, that looks great, or, I tried it, I didn't like it because the autofocus kept hitting it wrong, and being able to improvise, man, you can sell some products. And if you watch the good people on Amazon Live, you see how good they can just go with the comments, go with what happens, and they can just kill it on there. So, it's pretty cool to see these experts do it.
That's awesome. Okay, so we're going to, so Bradley says straight browser window only shows are not going to cut it pretty soon. Got to have the products. But in the example that Jeff just gave, it's going to happen. So you might as well get good at doing that, in my opinion. So Sammy wants to know what your favorite part of Amazon Live is. We're going to answer that here in just a second. But before we do, you guys don't forget to join us on our Amazon Live Abby birthday party on Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific, and we'll just have a lot of fun. We'll shop for dog products. You can share your favorite dog products, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to have a blast with a birthday party now that I've gotten the go-ahead from these guys. My permission. Yay. Oh, somebody's timer is going off.
I know. Look at that.
live streaming checklist.
Live streaming checklist. So I want you guys to tell everybody where they can find you and what they're going to get from you, and also what your favorite part of Amazon Live is. So if Mark has to go, then I'm going to let him go first.
Oh, no.
Well, you're already on screen, so go for it.
So yeah, here on YouTube, Soldier Knows Best, quick way to find my main, meat of content that I make. And then, from there you can find all my social links. But yeah, as far as like Amazon Live, I think the best part is, honestly, right now it's the unknown, because I think it is a fresh new thing. And I think with it being the number one shopping site on the internet, I think there's a lot of opportunities there that we're all exploring at the same time. And a stream like this, which I really do appreciate, because I'm learning stuff as everyone else is learning stuff, just makes it something interesting and different from doing the same thing that we've been doing for years. And so there's a little bit of exploration that is happening right now with how to monetize it, how to maximize it. So that's the best thing for me. It's just kind of finding something new and having me tinker my streaming and setup and stuff like that for it.
That's a great answer. I love that. Jeff.
So kind of the same thing. It's the Wild West over there. It's really fun to be on the cutting edge and get viewers, and it's not like Lear said, it's not so much community, but the big thing is it's money. I mean, I show up and I get Amazon. I have mine go as gift certificates, and I'm like, I buy stuff at Amazon all the time, and I'm like, this is just kind of like easy to do, and I make money at it. So that's the biggest thing for me.
And you didn't answer the question about where to find you.
Oh, where to find me? You can find me anywhere. Jeff Sieh across all the socials. I before E, especially in C, and my show is at socialmedianewslive.com.
I don't think I've known you a long time. I don't think I've ever heard you say that. That was great.
Oh,
You say that a lot all the time?
Yeah.
It sounds like something you say all the time. Maybe I just haven't picked up on it. Anyway, Chris, you're up.
If you want to check out the Amazon Live, Tech Talk with Chris.live, you catch me over there. Chris P Giles 1 on all social, and then on Facebook, we're in the Amazon Live Creator Group, largest group. If you're trying to connect, shout out Monty and Melody in the chat, starting that up. It's amazing. Amazon Live, like they said, honestly, the Wild West. I was like, I wish I could have been on YouTube 10 years ago, right? Well, guess what? I'm on Amazon Live, so hopefully 5 years from now we're blowing up and it's a whole new thing, right?
Yeah, this is one of those early adopter things, even though it's been out since 2016. But it is one of those early adopter things that you either choose to not put into your wheelhouse because you're so focused on other things, which is totally fine, or you choose to jump on board and see if you can ride it out and ride it up, really, is the thing, right? This is going to become a very, very popular thing. So it'll be very interesting to watch as we go. All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me and delivering just massive amounts of knowledge and exploring this whole conversation. I appreciate you.
Oh, anytime.
Hey, how about that? Thanks for having us.
All right, now I didn't tell you this. We play the credits during this, and we are all on screen. So, are you okay dancing it out or bringing up toilet paper?
I got toilet paper right here.
All right. Thanks to all of our YouTube members who are in the credits. You'll find them. Now we've got toilet paper. Thank you, guys. Bye.
One, two, three, let's go.